Hey guys, so today I am showing you a video I actually filmed. Well, my husband filmed most of it. I just filmed the intro of a favor I did for my husband last year. This is a small fridge on the inside of his semi truck. This is a truck we own, he owns, whatever. And the fridge just wasn't big enough for the food that I make him and for when he buys groceries while he's on the road. So he, asked me, babe, can we put a bigger fridge in the truck? So it's like, I guess. So I came in here, looked at the cubby that the fridge was in. I figured we could cut it out. It looked easier than it actually was. I'm just going to be honest with that. And I'm not using the level to check the level. I was just using it to make a straight line. Okay, so for anybody that's going to come for me, I was just using it to make a straight line. But yeah, I came in, looked at it, and he told me what he wanted cut off and what he wanted to stay. So I made sure to cut enough off so we had at least about a 3 or 4 inch gap so that we can move things around and just in case he wants another fridge that's bigger. um, but yeah, I ended up using a couple of tools. I used a rotary tool, a Dremel tool, I think, a handsaw, a circular saw, a jigsaw. I think at one point I had a kitchen knife in there. I don't know if it's filmed or not, but with every cut and turn I made, one tool just couldn't get into that point. I'm pretty sure the handsaw could have did it all, but you guys, I was actually pretty tired that day. I was in my garden for a good four. This is why I don't let my husband film anything. You see what I cannot. Anyways, I was in my garden for about a good 4 to 6 hours that day. I was already kind of exhausted. So I just wanted to kind of get this over with, but it seemed like I pretty much needed all of these tools to do this because there were some parts where it was super tight to get into, or some parts my circular saw would jam. I don't know if the blade is getting not rusty, dull, but there were some parts that were easier than others to cut it out. So we pretty much just cut out the bottom part of where the old fridge used to sit on. I removed that part, and then the siding that's behind his passenger side seat. Not the passenger side seat, just the plastic part of the cubby that is behind his passenger side seat. So the seat is actually reclined forward so that I can get into that space and remove the plastic for him. Okay, and I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna say, oh, you could have used this tool, that tool, this tool, that tool. And you know what? I just used whatever I felt comfortable using at the time. I was already tired, okay, and I'm more of the DIY person. My husband's really, really good at bringing home the bacon, so I just do the DIY. I prefer, and he prefers me to do certain things too. Well, most of the things, because he says I have more of a, I don't know, a gentler touch. And I agree. Okay. All right. So, as you guys could see, I went back and forth with different tools to cut out this plastic part here. And I'm pretty sure there is one single tool that just could have got this all done for me. It's just I didn't have that one single tool to do that. And my rotary tool, not a Dremel tool, my rotary tool, I don't know, the blade just wasn't blading the way I wanted it to blade. I don't know if that's a term, but I'm just saying that it just wasn't doing what I needed it to do. So I used the combination of the circular saw, the hand saw, and the jigsaw to get this out of the truck. So I didn't get the whole thing out. He wanted the side panel that was up against his bed to stay. He just wanted this panel to be removed so that we could fit the bigger fridge. And he did help. He offered some emotional support. He held things in place when I needed him to hold things in place. He lifted up the heavy things. But yeah, I actually enjoyed somewhat cutting this out, even though it was frustrating. Once I got it all the way out, there was like a sense of accomplishment actually, because it was frustrating me at some points. But I'm glad I got it out. and he was able to get his fridge in there. Okay. But yeah, you see how I used the jigsaw and I couldn't get all the way to the end, and I tried. So, and then I went back in with the handsaw, and then I went back in with the jigsaw. It was just a whole back and forth thing. And he kind of looked concerned. I'm not going to lie. He looked a little concerned, but we got it out. Yay. Okay. So this is the new fridge. I believe it was a 3.5 cubic feet or 4 cubic feet fridge that we put in here. And this was last year's spring. Okay, that we put this fridge in. I'm saying we, but yeah, it is we because he picked it up. All right, so now once the fridge is in, I could see where I need to put in some sort of a bracket to hold it in place. So I use these 2x3s or 3x2s that I had in my garage, and I use these old brackets that were on one of our kids' beds. Usually when I get the kids new beds or their beds fall apart, and I'll keep all the hardware. I'm not a hoarder. I'll just keep the hardware because I always feel like I'm going to need this one day. And look, I needed it. So what I did was make some drilled holes into the 3x2 or 2x3, and then I put the bracket on there, and then I put these screws in there and kind of build it up. I wanted it to be shaped like this so that I can screw into the top block right there like that, and this will keep like the fridge from falling over when he is driving, because he is an over the road trucker. So he goes up and down mountains, all kinds of crazy places, and some of these roads are pretty crappy. So the bracket was to hold the fridge in place without him having to strap it down or anything like that. And then once I got it screwed in, I used more than one screw. I don't know why the video isn't there. This video was recorded last year. I'm sorry. I don't know if it was deleted or wasn't recorded. But after I got it all screwed in, I covered it with a dollar store rug. It's brand new, but it camouflaged it pretty good. And he was able to still use the top of the fridge to put his stuff. Then I went inside, minding my business. I was making dinner, and he asked me if I can help him climb up. Well, asked me if I could climb up into the truck to remove this filter thing. He said, because I'm small and I can get up in there. So, got up in there and removed this gross filter that he says is supposed to be changed every 6 months to a year. And we put in this big blue one, put that one in. And this one was actually kind of annoying to kind of get this thing closed, because once you take it out, you have to get it back into the little snaps, and it has to go back in place and line up correctly, and then you can screw it back. So yeah, this was I guess a day in the life of being a trucker wife with my trucker husband and helping him with things. He works really hard and I appreciate it. So I don't mind helping. I don't mind, I don't mind. I just wished he had asked me to do this before I showered and went inside and started dinner. But that's a different thing. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Being a trucker wife is not for everybody, but I do appreciate the work he and many others do to make sure we have all the things we need. And yeah, I'll see you guys very soon in another video. Bye, guys.